What's going on? What's going on? Wanted to do another fun recording here tonight. I'm in the office and we are making videos, and let me move my mic over a little bit here. Hopefully sounds better. Probably doesn't, but that's okay. We're figuring this out on my end. And what I wanted to do, I had this idea for a show called What's in Your Closet? And we can name it where the hell we want, but that's what I'm naming it right now. And one of the things I wanted to do was not only share something that I have that's kind of that is rare and fun and cool, but also maybe look at some setups. I'll eventually share my setup and what I have. But I don't want it to be just setups. I want it to be like cool items that you guys have, or things that I can find on Reddit or NeoGAF or other places like that. So one of the things I want to show to you today was these bad boys. So these are just prescription eyeglasses, but they are Evangelion themed glasses. I got these when I was in Japan. If you're an anime fan, or if you are a fan of Japan, you'll know that they do a lot of pop-up stores. So these are limited time experience stores that happen and that just kind of pop up at random, and you can, you've seen for like One Piece, Capcom, all sorts of different like cool brands, themes, businesses. There's tons of them. And so when I was there, I saw there's two separate companies. There was the Evangelion store themed one, which is this one. And then there was one by the company Radio that makes a bunch of like very trendy kind of clothes, and they will partner with brands and stuff. And so you saw a bunch of Radio stores too that popped up. And so I went to there too, but I bought these. I also have a purple pair for Unit 1 that I have also. So that is my share of the day. Feel free to jump into the comment section and share what yours is, or if you've got a really cool setup and you got some, maybe there's like a link to a picture, again, on Instagram or something like that, or we can figure it out somehow. Don't have all that figured out yet, but I want to see how people respond to this and see how people want to, share their really cool stuff. Again, I don't want this to be just setups. I want it to be just cool stuff. But setups are always a really cool thing to look at too. So I wanted to just have some fun and look at some cool setups. Let me move my, move my picture. Oh my goodness, this is live. I just moved over here, folks. Probably gonna move a few times, but that's okay. So this guy, it's not the cleanest setup. It's not dirty though. So this person is obviously into fighting games. And I think that's, even though I'm not, I do really like fighting games. I'm just not very good at them. So I want to take a look at what he's got. Up here at the top, it's hard to kind of see. It looks like he has some sort of makeshift Genesis maybe, or something up here, up at the top. If you can kind of see with the blue light there too. He's got some games here. He's got some Super Famicom games on that shelf. He also has some, what looks like maybe PS1 memory cards. Maybe, I see a PlayStation 1. Oh, it's black. There's a PlayStation 1 down here. Oh, there's a PlayStation 2 also. So he looks like he's got like a Hello Kitty, like multi-tap or something like that there. Maybe it's a she. I don't know. But we have some cool fighting sticks here, guys. And it looks like they have one almost per system. There's this real dope. It looks like a lot of the case, like the shells for the consoles are modded. Dope. Super dope. I'm totally into that. So, but let's take a look. Got a modded, looks like GameCube here, with the shell being modded to where it's like a red and like a black. There is a Soul Calibur fighting stick. I'm assuming that is for the GameCube. That is dope as hell. Dope. Next to it, this is the Blaze Blue. Excuse, I apologize for not 100% knowing, but it's the Blaze Blue stick. I think that goes for the PS2. Maybe. I'm not sure. I have seen it though. I've seen one in person, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Because I know I have, because every time I see it, I think it's Persona, like the Persona fighting game. But it's not. It's always BlazBlue. There's a Namco fighting stick, which is pretty cool. I think that's a third-party one, though. That looks like, even though it's for PS1, it looks like it's plugged into his PS2, or their PS2, excuse me. There's I've seen this fighting stick's really cool because it has a lot of surface area for your hands, versus a lot of them sometimes it gets small, like the BlazBlue one. So I like these. They're pretty durable too. There's a Dreamcast one. These are kind of cool because you can still put your EMV, your memory cards. Your memory cards for your Dreamcast. Your Dreamcast next to it, the modded shell. There is the PS3 Street Fighter 4 stick, which is pretty cool. Touch back on the consoles, way to the left, you got Gen 1 Genesis. It looks like it might actually be a Mega Drive. This person might be in Europe, because I think that blue PS2 is also a European PS2. I don't think the blue ones came out in the state. OG Xbox. There's a black modded PS1. Looks like that's one of them Hyperkin Super Famicom clone consoles. Pretty dope. Love that the dude has flipped his. I actually got one right here myself. More so for business, because I also work out of this office too for my day job. So I usually got like my email, my chats here. We use Teams, so I usually got my Teams up. You know, in case anybody needs to message me or talk to me or whatever, I can make sure I see it quickly, message them quickly. Or if there is anything kind of long form, I'll look at it there. We got Bulbasaur and a bunch of games. Looks like we got some Dreamcast. I think he is Europe because I see blue Dreamcast, which is a standout for Europe. So let's see if there's anything else here on this thread. I found this thread a bit earlier. This looks like kind of a neat setup. Yeah, it's a bunch of loose wires here, but it looks like there's like a kid's table here. So I wonder if this is for like a young kid. This is Thomas the Tank Engine. But then you've got a bunch of games. You have a Super Nintendo, GameCube, NES, and 64. Is that a No, that's a Genesis. Look at the cart. Looks like Lion King or something. Dreamcast, OG Xbox, Wii over here to the far right. Maybe a PS3 right there. I can't really tell. Oh, here's the other picture. Yeah, Genesis called it. All right, cool. Oh, Turbo Graphics. All right, guys, we're getting legit here. Legit. Looks like we got some cool games. Can we blow it? It's not letting me blow it up. It's Zelda. Got a few other cool things in there. Quarterback Club. We got the War Against Sagas. Oh, it's Earthbound. I've actually never played Earthbound. I actually have a rare copy of Mother 2 and 3 though, that I bought when I was in Japan. What we got here? I'm recording this in case there is anything inappropriate that I need to blur out. All right, we have a Genesis. We have the Tower of Power here, which is awesome. I always wanted one of these when I was a kid. I was a Genesis kid growing up. Really wanted one. I do not have a old Genesis. I have the Mini. And I have a Polymega actually right here that I play Genesis games on, which I love to death. Works awesome. This is the PlayStation 3D display, which was made. They were kind of trying to sell it towards a bunch of like a dorm room because it's only like 22 inches. I think it's small, but man, it's actually like the screen is actually quite beautiful. It's one of the first like 240 hertz like LED TVs. Now, to admit, when I say 240 hertz, it's the old way of doing it. So it's not like new way where like you can literally see it on your PC. It says 240 hertz. It's internal resolution because it's only going to output 60 hertz. But the reason it's like that though is because it's trying to internally render higher for 3D essentially. You have a 360 back there. I just realized that's like an Evercade in there because you can see the SD card popping out of that cart right there, which means you don't even need the rest of this stuff, even though it's still awesome. The vertical BVM or PVM is just awesome. These, for anybody who's in the CRTs, these are just incredible. They're usually very expensive. They're very expensive to restore. They can be as expensive as a used, like an older used car sometimes. What's with the cables? That might just be a box, but oh, it's a lot. There's a lot. These are arcade boards. There is, I need to look into it. I think it's like it's a variation of the OESC or OSC, I think it's called. Because open source, or OSSC, open source scale converter, I think it's called. But there's a particular one that has like an expansion port that you're supposed to be able to put these, like, I think they're called jump drives, that are the kind of the pin connector. If I'm not mistaken. I don't overly get into arcade. I like going to arcades when I can find them, just because they're cool. American arcades are really sad nowadays. If you can find retro ones, are cool. There's a Fun Spot, which is the world's largest arcade, I think, but I think it's by square footage, in New Hampshire. I've been there twice. Is awesome. That place is really cool. I want to go to that place out in Illinois. That's really cool. Can't remember the name of it. You should, if anybody knows or remembers, you should throw it in the comment section there so everybody else can check it out. But yeah, these are really cool. These are one of these. I think that might be the Naomi over there. These are that green one's a Capcom one, and you get a few other dope ones here. Oh God, it's awesome. Wish I had the time and patience for it. I just really don't. Oh God, that Harvey Birdman game, Jesus. Looks like we got a bunch of cool games up in here. Wish we're a little bit more organized, but I understand. My games are a bit more organized, but awesome though. Mine are stacked all the way to the ceiling. This is incredible though. But Tearaway, great game. State of Emergency is Rockstar. Manhunt, that's Rockstar. Unreal Champions 2 is cool. Total Overdose was pretty neat. It did a lot of the slow time stopping stuff. Van Helsing, I never had a chance to play. It was pretty cool. Strike Force, bowling was pretty good. The Club, Jesus Christ. I have a story I'll tell another time about that stupid game. So we got Earthworm Jim hiding in there. Bunch of cables. Wow. Oh my God. These PS2 and Xbox controllers. It's funny, at my local GameStop, there's one. But it's because they're wireless. They were like the best. They're made by Logitech. They're some of the best feeling, like, PS2 and Xbox controllers. They have their own like feel to them. They were very like soft, kind of satin to the touch. But like, man, if you didn't hang on to those like little wireless like dongles, you're done. There's no way around it. That blue thing right there, that's a Super Game Boy too. Those are pretty cool. Those were upgraded from the first one. I don't know if that works in. Pretty sure that's a Japanese only GameCube controller. That's a wireless Wii infrared sensor bar. I have one of those. It's awesome. Love it to death. Instead of having the long stupid cable that gets caught up. Got a Duo TurboGrafx here. I have one of these cables too. The component cables for the Xbox. Premium weight, because there's some 1080i games that are awesome. Some 720 games. Looks like I got a Genesis here. I don't know what that port is though. So you got a Genesis. That's the NES version 2. You got 2 PS1s. This guy's got some cool stuff. Dreamcast, Slim. Man. Dopes. Ooh. Was that PCFX chilling there? Dang. Should reach out to this person. Like, hey, what you got still? I think this is an old thread. I think it's from like, yeah, man, did I call that? That is straight PCFX. Didn't even see that. That right there, not as underwear. That right there is the Xbox HD DVD drive. Can I tell you, I just pulled one of these out of my storage unit and I put it in my closet the other day. So I was like, I'll use this for something. I won't. It's a PS4 box. FrameMeister. I have one of those bad boys. Actually, should have one in the office somewhere here. Think about it. Oh my God. This guy's just... Oh my God. How many does he have? How How many BVMs do you have, bro? Dude, next to your mother's linens. And I guess good way to protect it. Look how, oh my God, a Sync Master? Look how clean this looks. All right, we gotta, 2015. Good Lord, that was 11 years ago, folks. 11 years, oh my goodness. Red Xbox 360. That was for a while, I think it was limited to Resident Evil 5, I think is what it came out with, which was pretty cool. Dreamcast, Saturn, TurboGrafx, maybe PS2, OG Xbox, PS1, N64, SNES, NES, GameCube, Wii, crates full of controllers, dope. Old school sound system too. You know what's funny is I'm pretty sure my grandmother had one of these before she had a real big house and she downsized for a while before she left us or whatever. But dope gaming collection here. Got a bunch of great PS2 games, some PS4, some Xbox, Genesis, Sega CD, Saturn, 32X, PS1, PS2. Looks like we're getting the themes. I see a bunch of Metal Gear, GameCube, Wii U. That green one is Dr. Luigi. I'm almost positive it is. Xbox, or they reused an Xbox case. You got 360 dominating down there. Just awesome. Some cool figures up here. NES games. I see GoldenEye. I see Donkey Kong 64. Shadow of the Empire. Awesome. Love that series, that comic book series as a kid. Zelda. I think it's Majora's Mask, actually. You can get those protective sleeves, bro. Protect your stuff. Ooh, this art of Final Fantasy is dope. That's big as shit, though. What the hell? Dude's got the Lunars. Those are pricey. Those are pricey. Wow, he's got a bunch of the Pokemon in box, too. Big box PS1 games. Holy moly. So he's got some cool, nothing like overly rare, nobody overly rare or anything, but overall normal, but like cool setups. I was really anticipating we'd probably see some like horror stories here, but join for free. I'm okay. That's a Neo Geo CD back there. Oh my God. Oh, Neo Geo, what? AES? I don't remember which one is which between the. It's funny, I did MVS. No, MVS is the big ones. I pre-ordered on Amazon the white limited edition one that's coming out in November. That thing is going to be sick. I'll never touch it though because I'll probably be playing GTA. So, which again, funny enough, I'm not a GTA person, but I'm actually kind of excited. Street Fighter versus oh my God, what is that series? It's SV. Oh, I had it on Xbox. I don't remember now. It's not. Is it SNK? I mean, SNK is the publisher who makes all the games and stuff. But is that what that one is called? I thought it had like a funny title. Like I was like SVC versus Street Fighter or something like that. Bunch of cool games. I want to touch on this television here. This is a rear projection television. These are dope. So they're ginormous. A lot of these though were at like the turn. So there's a bunch of them that were still like 480p and stuff like that, but had good images. They were dark usually. That was the only thing. So they had to be in like a well lit like room and stuff because it was basically a projector. So on the inside, so it's not a CRT. A lot of people think these were like giant CRTs. They weren't. So it would project an image on these mirrors that sat at the back of the television, and then it would then push, like it would reflect the image back onto a lens, like a screen essentially, and that's what you would see. They ended up eventually getting up to like 1080p, I think, and stuff, maybe 1080i. I think there's some versions. What's cool about them though is where I kind of get dirty with them is the plugins. They have some that have like BVI. There were some that have like VGA and stuff like that. And so it's just cool. A lot of people hate these things though because they're just so big, but they usually came with like dope speakers and stuff in them too. I always just kind of wanted one just for the novelty of it. But dude, there's people selling these though for like $50 USD. Sometimes people are giving them away. I'd have to like rent a truck and probably have a friend help me. But I don't know where the hell I'd maybe put it right over here actually, but so afraid someone would leak on it. But luckily, actually, be fair, it has been raining like crazy today, and we haven't had any leaks, so thank God. Every once in a while, we'll have one. So, another setup here. Sorry, it's getting a little late, guys, but I wanted to record some of these. Also, too, just a heads up, if I do yawn, I apologize. I actually have a sleeping like condition too and stuff, so sometimes I get a little fatigued. So don't mind me. Feel free to clown me in my comment section. That's what I'm hoping more than anything. Everybody would just clown me. Oh, yeah, Vice City. All right, what do we got here? So we have Vice City, got a small CRT, which is cool, and you got kind of this poopy LCD here, but definitely like, look, I get it though. Dude, why spend money? Why spend money on stuff if you're just gonna, like it probably looks fine. It looks fine. I'm just a bit of a stickler. So got a N64 chilling down here on the carpet. Don't really recommend that. Get on some wood, guys. You've got a PS2 down here, NES, GameCube, SNES. It looks like a European version, though, with the color theme. It's sitting on top of a Wii. I don't know if I would really do that. Not if there's any like vents and stuff. Don't know what the hell that is. Looks like maybe a Genesis. Well, if it's Europe, it's Mega Drive. But PS3, 360, guys, get your stuff up off the carpet. Carpet has static. Get it off the carpet. I put like some of my PCs sit underneath my desk at home. I put like a big piece of wood that I was going to use for like a shelf, and I didn't. So it's an actual like cut, nice looking piece of wood. I stuck down the carpet, put it on top. Get it off the carpet. It breathes better. It's less room for error, static, all that kind of stuff. Boy, did I call Europe. I can see all the Peggy logos up here. 360, PS3, Wii. Is this PSP up here? These cute, these adorable Pikachus. I wonder if those are from the Poké Centers. Got some Mega Drive games up here. There's a box for the Game Boy. Some books. Some weird Pikachus there. Those SNES boxes from Europe? I don't think I've seen those. I've seen these. So these here to the right. So these are Game Boy boxes, but then to the right are Super Famicom boxes. They look like almost like VCR like boxes. Yeah, because here's some loose Famicom games here. 3DS, DS. I wonder if those are reboxes. Those look pretty generic on the spines all the way to the right there. And Game Boy. I think those are Japanese. Japanese Game Boy boxes were pretty colorful. European PS2. I think those are all European there for Xbox and 64. Those are definitely European. Europe had weird like PS1 cases. They weren't like your standard jewel cases. They actually had a bit more protection behind it. The white spine PS2 cases. Boy, did Europe just get the shaft on that one. We had these cool colored, like they actually had art on the side of it. It was really cool. A bunch of cool DVDs, music and stuff here on the side. Cool Seinfeld stuff. Blu-ray, and it looks like some more DVDs and stuff down here. That might actually be a monitor. Maybe. It says Trinitron, probably a TV. What else we got? Definitely a Mega Drive, that 16-bit with the CD2. The CD2 is not really is meant for the second version, but will fit, which is why it's like hanging off the side there. Stupid looking. Dude, you just throw it on top of your turntable. How you listen to your music, bro? What is this mono piece thing? That's kind of cool. Oh, it's Japanese. Yeah, this is Mega Drive CD. That's definitely a Mega Drive Japanese cart. Famicom, even though it says Super Nintendo. Modded. NES V2. I didn't know those two could go into each other. Maybe, I don't know how that's hooked up. Actually, I don't know a ton about the family disk drive. I wonder how that works. Because I know it goes into the Famicom, but there's like an expansion port for it, I thought. Then you have some sort of TurboGrafx 16 Duo or PC Engine Duo. You have a gray Sega Saturn. These are really cool. I really like these. I actually had one of those in box too. Look at that. Beautiful screen. They are playing. I see that their PS2 looks like it's on. Maybe they're watching a DVD. It almost looked like the. No, that's probably a DVD. That's cool though. 27-inch. 27-inch Trinitron, 2-component, 3 compositors. Going over it. Whoa! Look at this. Look at this. Got some cool figures. Vampire Survivor. I wonder if they just got parts because it's a hodgepodge. You have Mortal Kombat like decal on the side, and that looks like an OG MK2. But then you have the Marvel superheroes, like top and arcade stick. It says Vampire Survivor. I wonder if they're just running. What do they got? Arcade cabinet with Vampire Survivor, CPS2, which is the second version of the Capcom board, if I'm not mistaken. Marvel Superheroes with one MVS. Cool. Bunch of different things there. All right. Awesome. Nothing too crazy. Bunch of games, bunch of figures. I'm really shocked by how, I would say, it's a little messy on a few of these, but nothing too bad though. I was really anticipating a horror story. Some of these. Bunch of cool games. Bunch of Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, Genesis. So this person's in the States potentially, unless they're like a big collector. Japanese, Dreamcast and Saturn. Those are PCI, the expansion games. Trying to see. No, I think those are all US titles. Almost looks like my games. Some Gundam. You got some. There's a Megazord down there. These figures are dope too. Man, that is one thing I wish I had more room for. I had a bunch of like cool like Star Wars figures, but I ended up selling some of them or just put them back in the box in my storage unit because I just don't have the room for them. I got them cheap though. Like when GameStop they bought ThinkGeek, and so they acquired all the stores and they shut them all down. So they acquired all this stuff, all this inventory, and like nobody was buying them. So a lot of them just sat there. And so I bought a lot of them like cheap. What in the absolute Hades is this? What is this? First off, I got to call it. Why is Satoru Iwata on your wall? Like as if it's a family member. Look, I get the importance and love for Satoru Iwata, but like, what? What is this? Like, bro. First off, are you okay? Is this a dungeon? And it just says, I had to. What? You had to what? What is this? So let's look at the setup. Your chair is a towel on a concrete floor with some sort of couch cushion. Which, and do look, no judgment, but like, what is this? Like, what's going on? Like, where do you live? Is this common? Is this not? I mean, this isn't common where I live. But then again, I live in a fairy tale world. Fucking Florida is the most ridiculous thing in the world. I see a Coke, soup, water. Okay, we're in a good place there at least. That looks like maybe some sort of like frozen dinner. I don't know where you're heating it up at. There's definitely a GameCube here. Some GameCube games. Maybe Luigi's Mansion there. Something on the screen. Maybe Ikaruga or something like that. Looks like a VCR player. On the wall, it literally says Axe sucks, which it does. But I'm just saying, like, what? It's just too strong, guys. Don't wear it. Is Axe even still around? I just remember that stuff when it was coming out when I was like a kid. And it was so strong. So many boys would just, come out of gym and whatnot. And you're just like, whoa, bro. Like, look, I like fragrances and stuff too. And having like, I even like some of the old man stuff like Brute and stuff like that back in the day. But like, it's just too much, bro. You're just a little light scent. You want people to walk past you. That smells good. You don't want to be, I almost like when people have like the sandalwood and like real good, clean smells. I should probably get back into that stuff. What we got here? The red Wii PS4. Okay. What game is this? Is it a rail shooter? You see how they're... I don't know what game this is. I genuinely don't know what game that is. Sorry, it's no longer available. This is cool. Like the old Bravia. I always kind of wanted one of these. The PlayStation game. This is a slick setup, man. I really like this. So you have... Okay. We'll scroll down. So let's see. We're at N64 games. I think these are reboxed, so they look like they're plastic boxes. We have potentially Genesis games or Mega Drive. Some Super Nintendo. I think these are all reboxed. But that's okay. I understand. Trust me, I get it. And the boxes are all flimsy, except for the Genesis. The early Nintendo stuff's all flimsy as hell. So that's why I don't hate on people that get the rebox. I almost want to say it looks better to a degree, but I like OG stuff. But I actually, just from an aesthetic standpoint, like that too. So, and again, I'm on some old NeoGAF thread I found. Look, there's some Vita games or something up there, but we got a PS2 game, a bunch of PS1 games. Looks like a bunch of amiibos up here. PS4 camera. That's not a PS4 camera. That's a Kinect, and not even the 360. That's an Xbox One Kinect. Ugh. You know what's funny is I have one. I think I have two. I have never used it. I have some Kinect games that I bought and I wanted to try. I just never did. Because I got it. And then I was like, oh, I heard these are terrible. Never mind. Cool games here on the right. PS2, Wii, little 360, PS3, GameCube. Okay. Cool car playset right here. Little keyboard or something here to the right. GameCube in the closet. Or, excuse me, whatever you want to call this, drawer or whatever. Cabinet. I don't know what this is to the far. I think that's a 360 controller. Xbox One. Some sort of almost dope. Oh, yeah. It's kind of dope looking, this like cable box. It looks sleek. I have some sort of like kaleidoscope like video thing. I want one of those so bad. They're just so expensive. I just can't bring myself to do it. The N64, I probably will though at some point. The N64 lime green, fantastic color, which is awesome. This is the Retron. It's by Hyperkin. It's like the Retron 5-in-1 console. These are dope. A little bit of latency and driver issues and stuff with it. I also don't like a lot of the controllers. I think all of them actually go in on the side, which is kind of stupid. Minus that, it's cool. You can upload saves. You can actually patch games. You can put mods in and stuff too if you know how to do all that stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't know what that is in there. That's obviously a Wii. I think there's some controllers. I think it might be like a PlayStation 4 or something. Ah, Retron 5. Man, I called that, didn't I? A soundbar. See, I don't like that. Keep it level, bro. You gotta like, how are you gonna hear it? But, all right. Well, awesome, guys. What a cool like little adventure there. I just wanted to share, like, just go through some people's setups. And again, it doesn't have to be a computer setup or anything like that. It could be a horror where you're going through, maybe there's just cables everywhere, or even like you just got some cool like limited edition stuff. I got some cool stuff back here, and in front of me, and all sorts of fun stuff. So hopefully, the more videos we make and the more we do. Again, I'm gonna have some video hardware comparisons and stuff coming out too, of a bunch of GTA stuff. So I'm not sure when I'm posting this, but hopefully soon. I want this to be just kind of fun, basic, and then as we go along, we'll add more complicated. If people enjoy it, we can add more bells and whistles to it. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Throw some of your stuff in the comment section if you have suggestions of stuff you'd like to see, or even stuff you'd like to put, or links or whatever that. Put in the comments, and we can roll from there. So until next time, appreciate you. Thanks.